Hello, hello. If you are new, welcome. Hopefully this provides you with whatever it is that you're seeking, and if not, I hope you find it elsewhere. For those of you who are returning, thanks for coming back. We are going to start off this reading. First of all, this is for Taurus. This is for Taurus for the month of April of 2023. We're going to start off with dice, and then we're going to move on to astrology cards, and then tarot. So your numbers are 1 and 2 for this month. You may be collaborating with others this month, or you may be leading others in a particular direction, or others may be leading you or another person in particular. But there definitely is an aspect of creation here, and I feel like, if anything, you're going to start seeing either more reciprocity or more of a culmination of your efforts. So maybe you've been working really hard on making something happen, and this is the month that you finally kind of see this symbiotic nature of it all, where it all seems to be working together very well, or it seems to be coming together in a way that you've been waiting for it to come together. And then let's pull one more card. Apparently those two just wanted to fly out. Right there. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So we've got Pluto on the bottom of the deck, so you may be going through a period of rebirth or transformation within something. I mean, Pluto technically is squaring you guys right now because it just moved into Aquarius and will be retrograding back into Capricorn sometime at the beginning of the summer, and then eventually moving forward into Aquarius again towards the end of the year, into next year. But right now it is kind of creating this square with you guys, so there could be this energy of something unfolding or enveloping, or not unfolding or opening up through maybe the challenges that you've been experiencing. The other cards that we got are Solar Calm, which is clarity. We got Descendant, which is invitation. And we have Neptune, which is vision. Let me add these up really quick. Okay, so these add up to a 7. So once again, there may be this energy of kind of finally receiving some form of results that you've been seeking in terms of collaborating with others or building something. If you aren't working with others, this is something that you're building or creating or trying to work on or trying to find creative solutions toward. And I think this is where you really see some form of like a return on investment, but I think there can be more, right? There can be more that's done, because with, clarify, not clarity. I think there's a need to really hone in on what it is that you're seeking, and I think that's what's opening up to you right now. Maybe Pluto is a part of that, where it's kind of asking you to really come to terms with and understand what your vision is for your own future and what it is that you're wanting to create. I feel like there's a need to be very direct with your intentions in order to get the results that you're seeking. Because you could also have been feeling confused on how to achieve that, or maybe even just not knowing exactly what it is you're wanting to do. But I do think there's going to be helpful people coming into your life or into your atmosphere who are going to really help pave the way for this. Yeah. How fun. Yeah, definitely clarify and solidify the direction in which you're wanting to go in. All of these cards are kind of insinuating that. So we've got the Three of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So you may be waiting on something. We've got a 3 there. Um, you may be kind of anticipating either a return on effort or a return on action. Maybe there's a particular direction that you went in or something that you initiated, whether that is sending something out and waiting on a reply, or waiting on the how something turns out that you have put out into the world. What is it that you're going to be receiving from that? Starting off, we've got the Page of Wands in reverse with the Page of Pentacles, which I find interesting. I think that you're really slowing down and becoming very intentional with the direction that you're wanting to move in. And if not, that's going to be your focus for this month. The Page of Wands in reverse can often indicate kind of some form of like misdirection in terms of like misguided effort or misguided actions. Maybe you were acting out of a place of frustration or feeling challenged, because we do have the Five of Wands in reverse kind of mirroring this on the other side of the reading. But I feel like maybe for a while, this could have even been trying to keep the peace with others around you. Maybe for you, that's how you felt working together would be best. Or you could even have been just trying to connect with others who are more like you in the way that you think or the vision that you have for the future. And those are kind of the people that you've been investing in, or the situations or areas you've been investing in. Because I feel like, you spent a lot of time moving out of this energy. And I think for a while, a lot of your focus was there, and it still might be somewhat, but I think you're becoming, like I said, more clear. With this Page of Pentacles, I think the direction you're heading in is something that is very intentional, very thought out. I think you're looking and engaging with every area of what this means and what it is that you can do with it, because I think you're wanting to make sure that this sticks, or you're wanting to make sure that this is something that can kind of stand the test of time or last a little longer than typically a fire element will. I think you're really wanting to root into the foundation of something. And with the Ace of Swords, I feel like there's a lot of clarity or an answer that's coming to you this month, or maybe even an opportunity to step into a new direction with the Fool card. I think if there's a question on your mind of should I do this, or this is risky, this feels risky, is this something I should do? I think that answer is yes. I think that there's a need to take a risk here and to try something different or do something different, especially if it's in alignment with the vision that you have for the future for yourself, because this really is an invitation. It feels like a strong, solid invitation, not only to clarify yourself or to clarify what it is that you want, but also to clarify things to other people, because that feels big here too. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that needs to get cleared up here, because I think the back and forth that's been going on between you and other people, or you and a person in particular, but somehow it feels like other people get pulled into this. I just feel like it's been pretty draining on you. There also could be a need to revisit the past in order to clear this up, or kind of bury the hatchet, so to speak, because we've got the Hermit in reverse and we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse too. I feel like part of this is about whatever it is that you're trying to build or whatever it is that you're trying to do. I think either you have seen where you have overextended or overgiven yourself in particular ways, or maybe done things for the sake of keeping the peace and realizing that it actually ended up costing you your peace. And I think you've been reviewing that. For some of you, the direction you're wanting to go in, or what it is that you're wanting to build, or the opportunity that you're wanting to take, or whatever it is that you're moving towards, I think part of it is in order to support another person. So maybe like part of what you're doing is trying to create something or build upon something, or generate something that can have a strong influx of income or a strong influx of stability in order to allow someone else to, I'm going to say, recover, whether that's recover lost dreams, recover from a situation, recover from their health. Because it seems like a helpful thing. It feels like this is assisting someone who's close to you. This also could be you finally applying the wisdom that this person has given you for some time. I feel like this person is always kind of pouring some form of wisdom into you, and you're finally kind of like listening or engaging with it, or learning how to apply it. And then we've got the Five of Wands in the reverse with the Chariot card. This feels very intentional. I also love how typically the Chariot card reminds me of the number 3 as well. It is a 7, so that also came up in your numbers, but it reminds me of a 3 because we're kind of looking at this like triangular thing going on here, because it's having to use this dualistic force along with its intentions in order to create forward movement. So I feel like that card is a very important energy for you. You may have strong Cancer placements in your chart, or this may involve a Cancer, but I feel like there's something about the element of Cancer impacting you here. Maybe your Mars is in Cancer, because we do have Mars in Cancer right now. But this feels so intentional. It also feels like a risk, but it feels like a calculated risk. So let's look at what the outcome of April will be for you. I'm going to be honest, there seems to be like some restructuring in your environment. If it's not in yours, it's in someone close to you is experiencing this. But it feels like there's these like really powerful experiences taking place for you this month that have a lot to do with accessing maybe like the highest evolutionary quality of the self. And even though we're kind of constantly evolving in this life, I feel like there's this step coming up for you that allows you to expand even more. And it may be through the help of other people. It may be through the help of this experience that you're tied to, whatever choice or direction that you're moving in, or this like risk that you're taking. I feel like it's going to be really good for you. But there seems to be this energy for like the overall outcome of the month of the 9 of Pentacles in reverse with the Hierophant in reverse with the 7 of Cups. There does seem to be some confusion around this, because maybe it's one of those things where you're not quite sure how it's going to play out. And it may be one of those things where, you know, we have to sacrifice for a little bit in order to get where we want to be in the long run. Very Earth-like in terms of element. You must give in order to receive, to be replenished in some way. There may just also be some information that gets exposed or comes out within a particular situation. I mean, this could be dealing with, once again, when I say restructuring in the environment that you're in, there may be something that happens, or there may be information that comes out that causes the restructuring of something. I don't want to necessarily say that this has to do with like legal stuff, but the Hierophant usually does rule like institutions of some kind, and these institutions usually have some form of a viewpoint or background attached to them where there's very particular rules, and there may be someone who's like breaking these rules. So there may be a revisitation of the rules or a rewriting of the rules themselves. There also may be a very untraditional way of approaching something that is very different. And this may create a little bit of discomfort. For some of you, this might be conversations around lack of security within a relationship. For others of you, there may be you may find out somebody around you is pregnant, or somebody around you is dealing with um, potentially the loss of a pregnancy, or they're not quite sure what they're going to do about the pregnancy, because there's something about this that's very untraditional or unconventional, where it goes against the agreement of something. For others of you, this has to do with the security or the feelings of security of a person around you. Maybe something doesn't feel as solid to them, or they don't feel as secure within a particular situation, and they may be thinking about doing something in a very untraditional manner or unconventional manner in order to counteract it. Maybe something that's out of their normal wheelhouse. For example, maybe this is someone who extends a lot of themselves to everything around them, and they don't get much in return. And typically, they're the type of person that'll just sit back and like not be very reactive towards this, and they could actually become very reactive towards this. So it's very different for their way of being. But I think overall the energy is pretty solid this month for you. I think there's a lot of intention happening here. I think there's a lot of clarity. Things could be getting moved around in either your environment or in your life. Things could be being discussed or talked about around rules, or like having to regulate something, maybe having to cut something off. But overall, I feel like all of these things that are shifting and moving around are kind of pushing something in a very particular direction. We are kind of finalizing your eclipse season, so this usually is the time where you start to see things come full circle and really rapidly, I want to say, grow or evolve or expand. So this is definitely an expansion point. So there might be some confusion this month, especially with Neptune there and us having this Seven of Cups. But I feel like everything is like, I think you've seen enough. I think you know what's going on. I think you know what to do. I just think the fear around doing it is there. But I also want to assure you that there's a lot of help around you, or there's a lot of support, or there's a lot of collaborative energy around you that can help you move through this. So don't be afraid to communicate. Don't be afraid to talk to people about things. Don't be afraid to ask for something, because this really, I think, is a time period where you can get it. So hope that was helpful to you. And thank you for joining me. And I will see you guys next time.